These three boys used to study together in high school and just had the opportunity to meet each other. After so many years, each person has a place with their own life. Among them is Minwo, who is a warm boy from an aristocratic family. To celebrate this reunion, the three of them immediately took each other to have a drink. As a result, the warm Minwo boy was dull first, so he collapsed on the table and didn't know what the moon and water were. When the party was over, Chiha's friend proceeded to take out the prince's fee to pay for the meal. After that, the two of them asked this Minwo friend to the house that the Chihu medical school student was renting. At this time, his friend Jun-sung lamented to his friend Chihu. "I am in debt to loan sharks with an amount of up to 400 million. I used to make up my mind to live well right after I was discharged. But now I'm throwing it away. And people who are good at getting into medical school like you probably don't understand the hearts of unemployed people like me." The Chihu guy immediately remembered that he had been listed on the list of medical school dropouts, so he could only put his head down in his chair. After that, Prince Minwo's phone kept ringing. Chihu picked up the phone and saw that his mother was making a lot of missed calls. After a moment of hesitation, Chihu decided to pick up the phone and said, "Your son is in my hands. If you want to see him again, prepare 1 billion and don't tell anyone about it if you want your son to be alive." When my friend heard it, I thought Chihu was joking, but the medical student said that I was asking for $1 billion. After hearing this, he tried to snatch the phone to call his friend Minwo's mother and spoke up to stop Chihu from doing crazy things. It's not the 80s now, it only takes 1 day for the police to find out. Just now, when I entered the alley, there were dozens of security cameras that were crazy. Chihu said that you just need to turn off the phone. How can you trace all those cameras? At the restaurant just now, they also paid in cash and taxis also caught on the road. But the trembling guy was still scared that I would call the police. Chihu immediately said that if he reported it, he would also be an accomplice, and he would have carried Minwo back here. "You don't know why I'm doing that. You and I will each get that 500 million. Our lives are both broken. It'll give you 5 minutes to think about whether to do it." Trembling and gradually shrinking with Chihu to snatch back Minwo's friend's phone. On this side, Minwo's friend Minwo's mother called her son but could not contact him anymore. Chihu threw the phone under the refrigerator and said, "Even if you and I work hard all our lives, we can't earn 500 million. What about him? The building he named alone has reached billions of guan." Trembling and calling his friend a madman and trying to pull out the phone, and Chihu still tried to persuade Trembling. Some people are lucky enough to have good parents and live a prosperous life. But when someone is discharged from the army, their life is also broken. Take advantage of 5 minutes to think. Then the Chihu medical school student went to a convenience store, then collect all the duct tape and drawstrings in this supermarket. And Prince Minwo's mother invited a private detective to his house to ask how to deal with extortion kidnappers. Because the mother did not want to report to the police that her son was being arrested by the bad guys. After the detective left, the mother asked her secretary to contact the Federation immediately. Jun-sung is now charging his friend Minwo's phone. Then he was about to call this friend's mother. But Chihu went home again. Chihu then snatched the phone and ran into the room. Chihu used duct tape to glue the rich friend Minwo's limbs and took a few pictures, then send it to Minwo's mother. Jun-sung broke down the door and grabbed Chiha's collar. After that, the two discovered that Minwo was waking up with a plastic bag covering his face, and kept telling me to save me, because I didn't want Minwo to find out that I was an accomplice. So Jun-sung immediately picked up a book and hit it on the head, causing Minwo to lose consciousness. The medical student checked and found that Minwo's pulse was still beating and was only temporarily unconscious. Jun-sung continues to convince his reckless friend. Take Minwo to the hospital and call his mother and tell her we're just drunk and just joking. She's probably going to ignore it, I beg you. Suddenly, the two of them heard someone knocking on the door of the house. Because someone telegraphed to the police that there was a very humid fight in this apartment. Che-who explained that the two grandchildren were only arguing roughly, but the police still wanted to enter the house to check it carefully. The two policemen looked at every corner of the rooms in the house. As he was about to open the cabinet marking Minwo, Then Jun Sung immediately grabbed Chae Hus' collar. After that, the two gradually shrunk back and forth and argued loudly. Jun Sung knocked the policeman down and then strangled him, after that, the policeman gave him an electric gun to his body. Very quickly, both of them were escorted to the station to write a report. If the two of you don't give matching testimony, then you will be sent to eat prison rice right away, you understand? Jun Sung was now extremely hesitant. After that, he was going to get his hands dirty to tell the police everything. Suddenly a man ran in and asked the police to help him find a missing old woman. She turned off her phone, so she couldn't locate the location. The policewoman also said that there are thousands of security cameras there. How can we fake them all? Jun Sung immediately remembered the words that his friend had said to him earlier. So I felt that the police seemed to find it difficult to find my friend Minyu, who was locked up at home. After that, the two were also released. Jun Sung asked the friend who still wanted to do this later. The photo has already been sent. Now there is still a way to retreat. Jun Sung immediately remembered the huge debt that he lacked the gypsies for his heavy shoulders. Can't make him want to redo his life. After that, the guy immediately asked the friend to criticize. You definitely won't get arrested and can get the money, right? And you will release Mingyu after receiving the money, right? Of course, because I already have a plan. The two went home and tried to negotiate with their friend Minyu, who was blinded and covered in face. Chae, who used voice reading software to chat with his friend Minyu, because he couldn't let him know that he was being held captive by two friends who used to study together. Chae, who announced that he was in custody. If they obediently cooperate, they will be returned to their families. Then Jun Sung gently removed the gag for his friend Minyu. The guy took a few breaths and called out Jun Sung's name. Do you think him an idiot? Minyu said that when he was in high school, his parents used to tell their children, maybe you don't realize that you were born into a very wealthy family. You should know that there are 1,000 times more bad people than good people. So I decided to let my child go to a normal high school. In that place, you might be bullied. If there are any friends who approach you just for money, then you have to let them know that you are not easy at all. My son Park Min, you must remember this. Absolutely do not be gullible. That's why I was no longer a weak Park. And no one dared to look down on me anymore. I believed it was like that, but maybe I was a long way from it. Don't lead me anymore. Untie me quickly. I don't find it interesting, Jun Sung. I remember you carried me there last night. Chae, who immediately clicked to say, you don't know us. If you don't cooperate, you'll be in danger. Mingyu immediately stood up and waved when he was hugged by Jun Sung. Mingyu immediately sniffed and said, it's you, Jun Sung. How can I forget your cheap perfume? And just now you said that we are. Jun Sung immediately covered his mouth. Put on your headphones and red-ape them. At this time, Min's mother was going to a stadium to meet the wild chairman, and announced that my son had been kidnapped. The chairman asked the mother to take care of her personal affairs on her own. I warned her not to come here to find me because it was not related to work again. Let me send an inquiry to her late husband. And the lady immediately said that if you don't help me, then I will go to the police immediately and report to the president of the Youth Ball League. It is the leader of the illegal betting line, and I'm going to tell them everything. I'm ordering him. Don't give up on a mother who is losing a child. After that, the chairman also ordered the subordinate to find the whereabouts of her son, before she went to make a random declaration. At home now, Tae Hui still decided to go to school to study normally and try to calm down his friend Jun Sung. Everything will be fine. In a few days, I'll go get my mother's money. She must be hesitating now whether or not to call the police. Today I have important things at school to deal with. When he went out, he met the son of the owner of this building. This guy admitted that I was the one who called the police to check on his house last night. For I could hear very clearly the sound of shattering and screaming coming from your house. Tae Hui immediately apologized for making a lot of noise. After that, he also walked, and Jun Sung decided to follow Tae Hui to the medical school to investigate. The retired guy walked into the room and asked the professor directly, "It's true that I cheated in the exam, but I didn't do this alone. Why were the other 3 friends only fined and suspended, while I was the only one who was expelled from school? The professor said that he was the only one who was captured in the battle. Trey Hui immediately said that he knew that the parents of the other 3 friends had given him money to enter the school so that he would not be expelled. Now how much is enough to give to you? Can you give 500 million? Jun Sung stood outside and could clearly hear the conversation inside. At home now, Min Woo is tied up and lets him play music in the closet. Then the guy tried to rub his face against a book. Then he made a book with a plastic wrap that was covering one of his eyes. Min Woo slammed the door, then saw a coat outside that the retired friend used to wear when the 3 of them went out drinking together the night before. The police officer Suin came to the workstation and was informed by a colleague policeman. Someone was shot with an electric gun last night in the building where she was staying. Someone called to report that there was a fight in an apartment in it, but I don't know how the 2 young men fought, but they were shot with electric guns and handcuffed here. Tri retired to a public phone pole and called Min Woo's mother, warning mothers not to report to the police that their son is missing. Remember that we are always watching you, so prepare 1 billion yuan and give it to me tomorrow. My mother immediately said that I needed at least 3 days to be able to raise that money. But the pension requires her to prepare enough money tomorrow, otherwise her child will die. Jun Sung came home and saw the cabinet door open, so the guy used all his courage to open the cabinet door, and then saw Min Woo with one eye open. So he immediately covered his friend's eyes with his hand. Jun Sung took off the cloth covering his mouth, and heard Min Woo say, "Colored handed me the medicine." Jun Sung immediately ran to open the voice-reading software and asked Min Woo not to pretend to be sick anymore. Later, he saw that his friend Min Woo was having a seizure, so Jun Sung immediately called Tae Hoo, but the phone was turned off. At this time, the police officer Suin was patrolling the area under the house when she saw the neighbor walking home. After answering the phone, she immediately sped up and ran very fast, which made the policewoman very suspicious. When he ran home, he saw the helpless expression of his friend Jun Sung. After opening the door of the room, he saw his friend Min Woo sitting calmly in the room and was no longer blindfolded. And the reason why Jun Sung decided to open the mask for Min Woo, because he remembered 5 years ago when all 3 were high school students. During a friendly soccer match between classmates, at that time Min Woo was the goalkeeper but always looked up to the sky. Therefore, Jun Sung easily threw the ball into the net, but suddenly Min Woo fainted on the ground. Both guys go to a clinic to prepare to buy medicine for Min Woo to take. Jun Sung assured Chai Woo that Min Woo had a recurrence of the same anxiety disorder as he had in high school. But Chai Woo said that in the past, when he was playing football, he only got sunstroke. Don't let him get fired. Chai Woo was worried and said to his friend Jun Sung, "The situation is different now because the hostages already know the faces of the 2 anglers, so we need to find a way to solve it immediately." The police officer and his lover reviewed the camera data in front of the rental building of his lover, and I saw that the night before, there were 3 young men who entered the building together. But why did the police search only find 2 people? After that, review the scene where the police escorted 2 people to the car to go to the station. The policewoman suspects that a person has been eliminated at any time. Maybe even the body was taken away by the monk. So the policewoman immediately asked her lover to go and report the crime. Min Woo's mother now went to the bank and withdrew the exact amount of 1 billion guwon in cash. Because she suddenly withdrew a large amount of money, the mother was questioned by the financial inspector to see if she was pretending to be a police officer to scam over the phone, or was anyone blackmailing anything. But my mother insisted that I was not suffering from anything. Jun Sung brought the medicine home and gave it to his sperm friend to drink. Min Woo then asks why you guys are doing that to me. Chae Woo replied that I needed 500 million. To be precise, we will ask your mother for 1 billion guan to see in half. When Min Woo asks why you guys need so much money, Chae Woo refuses to reveal it. But Jun Sung admitted, I bet before enlisting. As for Chae Woo, he is about to be expelled from school. I'm really sorry Min Woo, we've been pushed too hard. Min Woo repeatedly scolded the two friends for being bastards and then asked, "If you get the money, are you sure that you will release me? Why don't the flyers answer me?" Jun Sung told him to just promise that he would act as if nothing had happened. Min Woo nodded and said, "As long as I'm released, I won't say anything to anyone." But Chae Woo laughed again. Min Woo asks to be allowed to go to the toilet and eat properly, because anyway we are about to receive 1 billion. When I was lying down thinking about the plan, Jun Sung told me that I needed to visit home for a while, and admit that I was secretly watching, so I knew you were about to be expelled from school. Chae Woo said that there is no other way but to eliminate it. "I can buy sleeping pills at my school's hospital, it won't hurt at all." Jun Sung argued loudly, "He's our friend. A few days ago we went out for a drink together. How could you say that?" Chae Woo told him that he believed he would shut up after he was released. Naturally, his mother gave the two of them 500 million each to live comfortably for the rest of their lives. Jun Sung still insisted on criticizing Woo not to do that. "I don't know what to do next, but remember to give him a decent meal. If anything, call me." The police officer Soo En and his lover gave the video of all three young men entering the building for the local police officer to see. But the policeman said that he would ever be angry and leave. Only his eyes saw that there were only 2 people in that apartment. Did you know that there are 56 noisy complaints between floors in those buildings every day? But this incident caused him to fire an electric gun, so he remembers it very well. There are only 2 people. If you have any doubts, please bring solid evidence. I'm sorry, but I can't do it all right now. Police officer Suin refused to give up but continued to review the security cameras. When sitting at a convenience store near your home, when he saw the employee, he gave the black bag to the customer to take home. The policewoman immediately looked at the camera and saw, the night before, Chae Woo used to hold the same black bag and immediately ran home. So I immediately went in with my lover to review the security camera data of the supermarket. But because the camera is out of the corner, I don't know what Chae Woo bought. The supermarket clerk told him to buy all the plastic tapes and drawstrings. He suddenly came in to clear all the inventory, so I was very impressed and remembered forever. "And are the 2 of you really doing official business?" The policewoman immediately asked his lover, "Does his mother have a universal key to all rooms?" Ian Ho's subordinate sits in front of the restaurant where Min Woo used to drink before he goes missing, and report to the chairman that he will catch the anglers. But the chairman told me that I didn't care about the safety of that guy. It's important that you supervise his mother, Ami, which is important to me. Then the shaggy-haired junior walked in and announced. That night, all 3 people drank inside and paid in cash. One of them was wearing a medical university coat. Jun Sung went to his father's house when he was about to open the door to the house. Then the barehead men gave heavy interest to collect debts. The leader ordered the juniors to prepare to throw the Jun gun on the ground. Because I haven't seen him for a few days today, Jun Sung explained that I was just at my father's store. When he was about to be thrown down, Jun Sung kicked the 2 bears hard. Then he picked up a tree for defense and promised to pay the full amount. "Please stop," the leader said, "that if you don't pay, I will take your gift." Jun Sung immediately remembered Min Woo's promise to be silent when the 2 of them received the rat money and released him. So the guy told the leader that I would make a lot of money in a few days. At home now, Chae Woo is cooking noodles for Min Woo to eat. Chae Woo asked if he wouldn't tell anyone to hear about this after he got out of here. Min Woo immediately said firmly, "And how can I be full with a package of noodles? At least 2 packets, or add cold rice, if not, add a little broth." Chae Woo immediately went into the kitchen and poured a little more boiling broth into the bowl of noodles, then brought it to the table. Min Woo picked up the bowl and felt the broth was very hot, so he immediately threw the bowl of broth in Chae Woo's face and ran away. But Chae Woo ran after him and pulled Min Woo down. Chae Woo picked up the tree and crabbed frantically, because he couldn't see anything anymore. Min Woo runs into the bathroom, locks the door and tries to open the bars to get out. But the bars are too strong to do anything. As for Chae Woo, he kept kicking the door outside. Min Woo saw a pair of scissors, so I immediately used it to open up the glare for myself, making the guy mutter, If you don't get the money, I'll shut up. I'm not as stupid as you think. The guy picked up the toilet bowl and didn't hear any sound outside. So he opened the door and walked out, but he couldn't see Chai Wu anywhere. Suddenly, Chai Wu held a flowing ball stick and hit the hostage friend's body repeatedly. Min Wu cried and said, "You're not that kind of person. In the past, when he was in the schoolyard, he carried me to the infirmary. He used to save me." Chai Wu said it wasn't me and then made another stick. The policewoman in the opposite house looked through the door and saw Chai Wu running out, so she went to the apartment where Chai Wu was staying. Then used the card from the Universal to open the door of this apartment. The patrolling policewoman slowly went inside to search. At this time, Chai Wu was going to a store that sold all the repair equipment and decided to buy a hammer. The policewoman opened the door of the room and saw many red knife marks on the wall. Then there was a scream coming from inside the cabinet. Suddenly, she heard that someone was coming home, so she immediately looked for a hiding place. Chai Wu angrily went home and opened the cabinet and held a hammer in his hand. Then he tried to hit Min Wu's leg. The policewoman pulled out the phone and dropped the card from power to the ground. At this time, Trembling also arrived and heard a scream in Chai Wu's house, so he immediately ran in to prevent Chai Wu from hurting his hostage friend Min Wu. Chai Wu told this guy to throw boiling water in my face to run away. You dodged so I could deal with him. Min Wu shouted loudly and begged me to spare me, while Trembling tried to stop his friend Chai Wu. Taking advantage of the time when the three were gradually arguing with each other, the policewoman gently ran out to the door, and gently opening the door latch with his hand. Min Wu screamed when he saw that Chai Wu was about to hit him. "Money, I have 10 billion, not only 500 million, I can give you 10 billion. Let me go, let's sit down and talk about it, and then let's decide." Min Wu later said that his late father was the founder of a giant investment company, and also earn an equally huge amount of money. "In the past, my father drove me to a place with many warehouses, and my father opened the door of a warehouse. Then pressed the passcode to open the door of a secret room. At that time, I knew that this was my father's secret way of killing. I myself have touched the amount of money up to tens of billions. He'll give you all that money, I promise. After all, my father died suddenly of a heart attack. I'm in this situation, so I don't dare to lie." Jun Sung said that if he took the money, there would be no need to kill people and there would be no kidnapping. Min Wu immediately shouted, "If we split that pile of money, wouldn't we be each other's accomplices?" And that's just the words of the wise friend Min Wu. Because in the past, that room was just a place to store Min Wu's family memories. And the policewoman has now escaped outside. After that, Chai Wu decides to call Min Wu's mother, ask her to bring 1 billion guan to the subway tomorrow. My mother asked the secretary, "I'll go there alone. This time you have to report to the police to have a plan B, don't tell the chairman to know." Immediately afterwards, the secretary immediately pressed the secret message, "Tell the chairman that there may be police involved this time." The next morning, Jun Sung asked Chai Wu to go and inspect the warehouse where the money was stored, which Min Wu had said, but Chai Wu said that I had an early class this morning, so I had to go to school to study. Jun Sung walked inside and asked Min Wu, "Where you said there was really money there?" Min Wu immediately told me to tell the truth. Jun Sung said quietly, "If you lie now, I don't know what to do, just go inside." After that, Min Wu also happily cooperates to be locked in a closet by Jun Sung. The police officer Su En and his lover went to the police station to report the crime. "Last night we witnessed a kidnapping." At this time, the brother of the police officer Su En was also present at this police station. The police officer also told the story to his father. "Someone is in custody and is likely to lose his life in his neighbor's apartment. I used the hostess universal key to enter it. I called the police, but they ignored me. The policeman immediately said, 'So you have entered the house illegally. Whether it is imprisonment or arrest, that act is not a crime. Didn't you have an interview exam the other day? I'm worried about reviewing. Shouldn't I keep failing the exam?' Officer N was angry and said that I would definitely follow this case to the end. Otherwise, I would rather not be a police officer anymore. After that, the policewoman led her to leave. At this time, a shipper drove over and handed over a package to Che-hu. Inside there was a brick phone so that it was difficult for the police to trace the call. As for Jun-sung, he went alone to the location of the warehouses containing the money that Min-yu had pointed to. But the outer barrier door was locked tightly. Jun-sung immediately looked for another way to go inside. After searching for a while, I also found a warehouse with the word WN that Min-yu pointed to. But the warehouse door is locked to 3 locks. Suddenly, the manager of these warehouses appeared. Jun-sung pretends to be the one who wants to come to rent a warehouse. Enter the office to drink tea with the manager. Jun-sung looked around and saw that there were 3 hunters' guns in this room. The guy then asked the manager, "If you want to preserve something such as insurance, will you accept it?" The manager can say it right away. There are a lot of people who send that stuff here. The warehouse you saw just now also had insurance in it. Lady Amos' subordinates began to load the suitcase into the car and drive the lady away. Chairman Hong's subordinate Yong-ho was also ambushing and following Lady Ami. Minna's mother pulled the suitcase into the station alone. The 4 juniors of the Yong-ho subordinate also immediately followed. Che-hu texted to ask his mother, "I need to check if she really came alone. Let's get on the next train." If she didn't get up in time, her son would stop breathing immediately. The lady hurriedly pulled her suitcase and ran up the stairs. After that, you can also enter the tram as soon as the door is about to close. The 4 barehead men were left behind. Che-hu continued to ask Minna's mother to get off at the next station and get off by the front door of the train. The mother immediately ran out of the subway and shouted loudly to get everyone out of the way. Che-hu continued to text asking the mother to go to chicken number 3, after studying the chicken house diagram and the operating hours of the trains. Then asked the lady to change the location to tramline 5, causing my mother to be rotated as if in a movie. The lady with 3 legs and 4 legs ran to catch up with train number 5. Then he stumbled and fell hard. After that, he also came to the place where he was criticized. At this time, the boy also arrived and observed his mother's expression. After that, she texted her mother to ask her to leave her suitcase on the next train and get off the train. Che-hu stepped on the train first and prepared his posture to get the suitcase of money. But Lady Ami remained motionless, causing Che-hu to step off the train. After that, this tram also left. Che-hu immediately called the lady and asked, "Why didn't you do as I said? My mother said that if I give money, what is the guarantee that my son will be spared? If something happens to my son, you won't be safe." Hearing the screams of the lady, she was somewhat uncool. The lady continued to say, "If there is no proof that my child is still alive, you should not accept a single sou." Minna's mother continued to scream loudly, making Che-hu appear to be brittle. When he turned his face, he saw that the lady had approached him. So he immediately turned off the phone. After that, he left Lady Amos' search site. Che-hu walked out of the station when he heard barehead men going inside to find Lady Ami and the angler. The lady walked out when her subordinate Ion-ho drove to the procession to meet the emperor. The chairman told the lady, "I first met her husband 20 years ago. At that time, her husband's company was on the verge of bankruptcy. Since then, her husband's company has become a money laundering machine for our organization. That's why her husband has the opportunity to live like today. Now our organization covers all over China and Southeast Asia. And of course, this organization has many secrets that need to be kept secret. That's why when I learned that my wife was threatened, I sent my subordinate to secretly cough sausages, because I was afraid that our secrets would be exposed. Therefore, the lady was not told to the police. If the police investigate, our business will be immediately detained. We will definitely find your son, even if it is just a corpse. For the wife, the son is everything. For us, business is more important than life." The lady walked out and said to her subordinate, "My son used to have class meetings with his high school classmates a few times. I gave you 3 days to bring my son back alive." Che-hu stood at the public phone pole and asked Jun-sung to meet. Che-hu told the truth to his friend. "I called to blackmail my mother here. This morning, I made an appointment for her to go to the subway station to get 1 billion. But she refused to hand over the money. Everything went according to plan, but at the last minute, she suddenly stopped listening to me. She said that she had to see Min-woo alive before giving the money. I thought there seemed to be someone behind the scenes who was giving directions to my mother, but not the police. After hearing this, Jun-sung was disturbed because he could not end this case and did not receive the money. Chae, who persuaded his friend to continue with the plan, but Jong-sung grabbed him by the collar. "Isn't it because you let go of Ming-yu that I have to do this? If I didn't have that money, my life would be over. Please help me again this time." Jun-sung immediately brushed away his arm and showed a very helpless attitude. Then he received a call from his father's phone number. The guy rushed to the hospital and rushed into the operating room. Suddenly, Jun-sung was given a slap by his sister. The younger sister cried and said that her father's stomach was completely broken. The doctor said that my father's organs were broken. "It's all because of your extreme debt, bastard." After he escaped and enlisted in the army, the loan sharks continued to terrorize our family. I don't want to see his face anymore. After the surgery, Jun-sung came to visit his father and remembered. Previously, when the guy enlisted in the army to evade debt, was kindly hugged by his father to say goodbye. The father also promised that he would think of a way to repay the debt for me, so don't think too much. I just enlisted in the army and maintained my health. Let dad take care of everything, son. I love you. Jun-sung walked out sadly, and Chae, who was also waiting outside. Jun-sung said softly, "When I was in the army, I told myself that I would never disappoint my father again. But after being discharged from the army, everything was like this." When Chae, who said I was sorry, Jun-sung said that everything was up to me. Now let's follow what Min-woo revealed. If you still don't get anything, then follow your original plan. I beg you, I can't disappoint my father again. This time, please do as I say. If I can't, I'll do what you ask. After hesitating for a while, Chae, who said, "I'll give you 3 days to try out the plan you made." The two go home and open the cabinet where Min-woo is being held and prepare to carry out the plan. But suddenly there was a knock on the door outside. Jun-sung looked through the crack in the door and saw a person putting up a dirty police card. So the guy could only helplessly look at his friend to cover up. After a while, the two dragged the friend who believed in Min-woo outside with his whole body soaked. Chae, who conducts artificial respiration for Min-woo. Jun-sung tried to wake up his friend. After a while, Min-woo also chokes on water and breathes again. The police officer father went to the police academy to meet his sister and announced that he had come to the house yesterday. He entered the house and saw only 2 young men in the house. He had also deliberately searched all the rooms in the house. Then I saw the universal card I had dropped in the toilet, so I took it back. I went into the bedroom and saw the cabinet as I told you. But when he opened the cabinet, he didn't see anyone inside. He tried to search in the back, but only saw a washing machine working and shaking violently. But because it was just out of balance, he couldn't find anyone but 2 boys in that house. I returned the universal key to this one. The policeman told me that I could clearly hear them arguing and threatening each other. But I really didn't see it with my own eyes. The policeman immediately laughed and said, "I didn't see it with my own eyes, so it's nonsense. I'm about to take an interview, so I need some real stories to tell, right?" The police officer was very angry when her brother suspected that she had come up with this story. After that, the two of them argued loudly with each other. Jun-sung and Cha, who take a bus to a place near the warehouse where Min-woo says they are hiding money. The two went to the rooftop of a house and used binoculars to observe the situation. Jun-sung said that if he took the money in the warehouse closely, it would be safer than taking Min-woo's mother's money. When he asked what about the password to open the close end, Jun-sung says, "Well, go home and ask Min-woo." But now he's very angry because he was put in the washing machine. After all, we are really too much for him. The two go home and ask Min-woo what the password is. But the guy asked to take me there before I said the closing password. Che, who is suspicious and thinks that Min-woo is hatching a plot. So the two began to argue loudly for a while. It wasn't until the June was stretched that the two stopped. Min-woo gently convinces Jun Sung to let him go there. I will open the conclusion so that the three of us can share the money and become accomplices. I'm not going to be bad for anything. And to do this, you need a lot of money to do it. At this time, Ian Ho's subordinate took Lady Amy to see a hypnotist. In order to help the mother remember the night that Min-woo went missing. Did he tell his mother who he was going to meet? The hypnotist made 5 fingers dance in front of the lattice eyes. Then she also fell asleep. The mother begins to travel back in time to the time when Min-woo asks to leave the house to hang out with her friends. After that, he remembered that Min-woo once said that he would go out with a friend named Lim Taejong. But actually, this friend did not come to the meeting at that time. Chae-woo went to school and met 3 rich classmates who cheated on the exam with him, and asked them for some compensation for damages, but the 3 classmates did not agree. Suddenly, the ball line went off, and Jun Sung with a hammer appeared, and tried to be as aggressive as possible. The guy strangled a rich man and asked each of them for 2 million in compensation. If you don't want to end your life here. And the police officer Soo En is now participating in an interview to apply to become a national police officer when asked by the jury, when the safety of themselves and the victim is in a dangerous situation. So how will she decide? But the policewoman had a stiff throat and didn't know how to answer. The policewoman left sadly and called him to tell his lover. I must have missed the interview, brother. She saw Chae-woo crouching in a car. The two bowed their heads to greet each other. Later, the policewoman saw Chae-woo carrying a large suitcase into the house. Chae-woo carries the suitcase into the house and asks Min-woo to come in here and lie down before he can come along. Min-woo immediately scolded Woo for being a psychopath. Chae-woo was about to hit Min-woo, but Jun Sung stopped him. Min-woo grabbed a hammer and stood up and said clearly that I can put it in my suitcase, right? Min-woo covered his mouth and curled up his body to fit snugly into the suitcase. After that, the suitcase was also closed. The shaggy-haired junior and Mrs. Amy's secretary come to the house to meet Min-woo's young friend. The shaggy-haired man immediately attacked this guy and asked where Min-woo was. When the boy asked who you were, the secretary held a flat lamp to his head. The young man was so scared that he said I was Min-woo's classmate. A few days ago, we made an appointment for him to go out drinking with a few more children, but I didn't come. So he went out for a drink with Chae-woo and Jun Sung, and Chae-woo seemed to be living in a rented building near the medical university. After that, the secretary texted the Ian Hobbit's subordinate to inform him of the location where the Chae-woo was staying, so he immediately ran there. The policewoman stood outside and saw the 2 boys across the street carrying a big suitcase into the car. Then the policewoman saw a motorbike. Yong-ho's juniors now drove a lot of cars to this building. Suddenly, they were hit by a truck. Then when Jun Sung and Chae-woo were driving the cars of the first children also ran right behind. They ran inside, then broke the door of the apartment they were renting. Now the 2 boys have also driven the car away safely, and the police officer was riding a motorbike following the iron behind. The 2 drove to park outside the warehouse area. Then he saw the manager locking the door to go home. The policewoman looked at the car and saw no one else. Then he saw 3 boys entering the warehouse. The policewoman immediately remembered the question that the interviewer had asked her in the morning. So she decided to protect the victim. Jun Sung used alkali to store the fence. After that, the 3 of them walked inside one after another. The 3 of them go to the warehouse where Min-woo once said there was money in it. When Jun Sung and Chae-woo were struggling to break the 3 locks, then Min-woo immediately pulled out the hammer that was hidden in his hand and prepared to put it down. Suddenly, the policewoman screamed loudly and picked up the phone to record everything. The policewoman asked everyone to stand still or I would send this video to the police. You have that flashlight and walk over here. At this time, the 2 boys knew that Min-woo was holding a hammer. Min-woo also said that there was not a single silver coin in it. The policewoman asked Min-woo to get out on a motorbike. There will be shiny clothes out there, so please drive to the police station right away. I'm going to stay here to stop these two guys. As Min-woo walked away, Chae-hoo and Jun-sung saw something in front of them. The policewoman turned her back and saw a man, pointing guns at all of them and asking them all to stand still. The manager immediately fired a shot at the warehouse, then asked everyone to lie face down. The manager immediately called to inform his arrangement. There are a bunch of kids who are getting into our money laundering place. He immediately ordered to check the iron junction first. The manager opened the warehouse door and checked the iron inside. Min-woo was so scared that he immediately cried and lamented all sorts of things, so the manager pointed the muzzle of the gun at him. The lady drove to the building that Ian Ho's subordinates juniors were surrounding. The lady looked at the cabinet and realized that Min-woo had been locked up here. The secretary ran in and showed the lady a video recording the scene. Two young men were carrying a large suitcase to the car. Everyone now thinks that maybe Min-woo is no longer completely changed, so he was put in a suitcase. But the lady said, "Until I saw the body with my own eyes, my son was still alive, and immediately went to find my son for me. I gave you 3 days and now you only have 1 day left." The manager of the warehouses now received a phone call ordering to rescue and kill all of them. When the man got his gun dirty and prepared to shoot, then Min-woo immediately read out the password to open the safe. "That is my birthday. The owner of this safe is my father named Park Woo-nam. The letter WN is the name of my company." After the manager listened, he immediately called to inform Mr. Shi of the situation. Suddenly, Jun-sung stood up and attacked this manager. After a while, Jong-sung was written on the wall by this old man. The policewoman immediately ran to save her, and the policewoman shouted for Min-woo to run away. Then an explosion sounded, causing all 3 of them to fall. The old man took the gun back and loaded the gun, and he immediately ran over and knocked the gun to the ground. Min-woo ran over and sucked his head so hard that all 3 of them were thrown into the warehouse. Chae-woo woke up and kicked the old man's body repeatedly with his foot. Min-woo also stepped on one leg to trample the old man. Jun-sung wakes up and runs to the apartment where his 2 friends are in a frenzy. After that, he saw that the old man was quite seriously injured, so he immediately dragged Chae-woo out, but they both stumbled. Chae-woo found that Jun-sung's shirt was covered with blood, and that was the blood that came out of the police officer Suin, who was in the field because he was hit by a bullet earlier. The medical school student ran out and examined the policewoman's wounds. Chae-woo went to look for a fellow artist and saw that the iron door had opened. After that, he was going to take the bullet out of the girl's body. But the policewoman had now let go of her body and took her last breath. Jun-sung immediately criticized Woo to check the girl's condition, but the medical student just shook his head and burst into tears. While Jun-sung was extremely disturbed by the death of the policeman, then Chae-woo regained his composure and ran inside the iron. When he pushed the door and entered, he saw that the inside was only money, and Min-woo sat down on the ground and said that the whole family's life was over. It was really over. Chae-woo couldn't resist the attraction of money, so he immediately ran outside, then drove the car over. The guy ran into the iron and collected the money into the book bags. Min-woo stops and says, "This is not our money." Chae-woo immediately dragged the guy by the neck to the car, then loaded the bags of money books into the car. Chae-woo ran over and pulled Jun-sung away. Then all 3 people got into the car and drove away from the scene. Chae-woo drove to a motel. At this time, Min-woo confessed that, "I didn't think there was real money in it. But we can't touch that money because its owner is a very scary person. If you let them catch you, it will be dangerous for your whole family," Zhao-woo said loudly. "Whether you take money or not, you will be chased. So isn't it better to take the money than to criticize Woo for stepping out of the car?" Then Min-woo begged Jun-sung to lend him the phone to call his mother. "Maybe because of this, my mother will be uncertain, I beg you." Chae-woo turns around and asks Jun-sung to give him the phone. The guy took out the phone from Jun's pocket, then smashed Jun-sung and his 2 smartphones. The victim went to the warehouse location and was informed by the junior. There was a girl who had stopped breathing here. Apparently she had been shot by the manager while trying to escape. There was a coincidence that she had identity documents in her wallet. and it turned out that the address she was living in was the house opposite the house of the Chi-woo. Maybe she was an accomplice in Min Woo's arrest and tried to steal the money from the warehouse. The Yan-ho ordered all security cameras around the area. We must find them tonight. Later, they found that the manager was still moving and still alive. The three boys were now staying in the motel, and Chae-woo asked Min Woo to tell him about those dangerous people. Min Woo told my family to call him the chairman. His fortune is in the trillions, but he is no ordinary businessman. Rather, he is the one who can deal with any person. If he catches us, not only will we die, and our whole family will also receive the same ending. Chae-woo is worried but then speaks. Isn't that a good thing, because now that you've become an accomplice with us, by all means we need to leave Seoul as far away as possible. Unless things calm down, and this 20 billion guan will be divided equally among the three. Jun Sung told you to forget the dead girl's phone? She's been able to turn around the faces of all three of us. Do you think they won't be able to find us? There were two people who died, this bastard. Chae-woo immediately said that one person was self-defense, and the other girl was not killed by me. But what are you afraid of?
Yun Sung immediately slapped Chu.
Chae-woo was about to fight back, but he said, instead of worrying, think about how to go. Does our ministry still have a way back? Jun Sung went out of the car and used water to wash the wound on his hand, because the bullet flew past him before. The guy burst into tears because he had indirectly caused the other policewoman to die. The subordinate Ian Ho reported to the wild chairman. Some of our money has been stolen. It seems that the culprits are the ones who caught the Min Woo corner. The chairman was suspicious of Mrs. Ami herself. He was the one who made up a pretense from the beginning to steal that money. But the Ian Ho insisted that she was also a deceived person. The chairman immediately ordered the lady to be brought here tomorrow, and I will ask her directly. Stay at the motel now, take advantage of the time to go to the bathroom. Then Min Woo immediately turned on the hairdryer and proceeded to beg Jun Sung. Help me go to my mother, I'll give you all the money. Those people are very scary, but my mother can save us. I don't want to be piled like this, I beg you. You will get 20 billion yuan, think about it carefully, you can save your father and I can save my mother. In the middle of the night, while sleeping, Min Woo sat up and tried to run away. But he found that his legs were chained to the bed, so he could no longer move. At this time, the brick phone of the retiree reported that there was a message, so the boy immediately got off the bed and sneaked outside to call someone. The policeman's lover went to the apartment where the policeman was staying to look for the girl. Then he received a phone call from the policeman announcing a very sad news. You don't know what happened to Soo-in. She's dead. The news board reported that the body of a girl in her 20s was found on a mountain, and the victim died not long ago. It is possible that she was hit by a stray bullet while entering the illegal hunting area. The three boys also watched this message board at the motel. The subordinate Ian Ho personally came to the house to help the lady to meet the wild chairman. The chairman informed the lady, I have good news and bad news. The good news is that her son is still alive. The bad news is that her son and two of his friends have put our organization in danger. This is a dozen pictures showing that her son went into hiding with them. The lady was very happy that her genius was still alive, so she immediately left. The chairman told Ian Ho, she only cared about whether her son was alive or not. Whether we are in danger or not, she also ignores. I hate her attitude so much. You find her son and get rid of him. By the way, eliminate that crazy mother. The Ian Ho was going downstairs when Lady Ami asked, where did you find my son? The subordinate said that we are looking for the license plate, so we will find it soon. The junior ran to announce that he had found the car at a nearby motel. At this time, Jun Sung was loading money into the car. Ming Yu kept saying that he hid another phone. I called someone through him. Chae-woo stepped out and announced that we needed to change to another car, then go to the convenience store to buy food. Ming Yu continued to persuade Jun Sung not to listen to Chae-hoo's words anymore. He needed his mother and daughter to come to get rid of those people. Chae-woo went to the convenience store and saw a lot of people coming to the motel. There is also Ming Ye's mother. Now Jun Sung was disturbed. so he unlocked it for Mingyu and said, "I only need the same amount of 500 million as originally to repay the debt. But don't let yourself bear the consequences." Mingyu agreed to Jun Sung's request. Che-Hu ran to the car and asked the driver to hurry up. The convenience store sold out all the food, and then Jun Sung also drove the car away. All the thugs pulled up to the room in the motel. The junior announced that he had reviewed the camera data. It was true that the other two stayed in this room with Mingyu last night. According to the history of going online, they have searched for information about where to buy fake cars. It seemed that they were going to change to another car. The lady asked the shaggy-haired man to search for all the dealerships that sold used cars nearby. As for Yong-ho, go back to Seoul with me. The two went downstairs when the lady got into the car. Then Yong-ho saw that the two juniors of the wild chairman were present at this place. Yong-ho drove the lady to Jun Sung's restaurant. Then the lady went inside alone. Two of Chairman Huang's subordinates had also followed him all the way here. And just now these two guys said to Yong-ho, "The president sent us to help you get rid of Lady Ami." So now the Yong-ho drove away. Min Woo's mother goes into the restaurant and sees the pictures of Jun Sung. "With my father from childhood until now." Then I asked my sister, "Why isn't my father at the store? Didn't my brother call back?" The sister cried and said, "Because of him, my father is in the hospital and in critical condition. If you ask for a debt, find him and demand it." The lady immediately pulled out a check for 1 million won to pay for the meal. The lady walked out when two of the chairman's juniors came over and said, "Manager Yong-ho has a job to go first, so we will take his wife away." Suddenly, Yong-ho drove over and told the two juniors, "I will personally take her back." The father police officer was informed by his colleague. It is very difficult to catch the perpetrator of his sister's murder. There are no security cameras nor witnesses. And the hunters said they didn't know anything. The policeman was angry when his sister had died in a cruel way. But there was no way to find the culprit. The lover ran over and cried and begged to see her lover's face for the last time. After that, the two boys hugged each other and cried because they had both lost their loved ones. Jun Sung and Che-Hu drove to a second-hand car dealership and decided to lock Mingyu in a suitcase, let the two go inside and ask to buy a car. The two guys went into the office and told the receptionist the truth that we wanted to buy a fake car. She immediately called the boss to personally receive customers to buy fake cars. The owner told us that we had an extremely suitable fake car. It's only 99, costs 30 million won, and doesn't need a citizen ID or any paper. After that, Che-Hu said that I would go get the money, and Jun Sung waited forever without seeing his friend come back. Then Che-Hu ran over and announced that the car was gone. The two immediately ran to the parking lot, but they didn't see the car containing the money. Che-Hu said that he should have gone away. Jun Sung asked, "Didn't he keep the car keys?" And Che-Hu immediately pulled out the car keys. Both of them were confused because they thought that the car had been dragged away by the first children. "Our lives will end from here." Miss Shui Xian walked over and said that you left the car on the 3rd floor just now, right? He went down 1 floor to meet the boss. The two immediately ran upstairs and saw that their money cart was still parked here. The Yong-ho drove Mingus' mother home, and the lady said that he seemed to be a good person. "If you want to kill me, you should find and kill my son first." The junior knocked on the car door and announced that we would eliminate her tonight. It was the chairman who ordered me to personally take action. After a while, the umbrella-haired man and his juniors began to surround the managers at the Australian car dealership. He called to inform Yong-ho. "I found the license plate they bought. They've been going for more than 10 minutes. The Yong-Kof told him to wait. Don't chase them in a hurry. Mrs. Amos' secretary went to the hospital to meet Jun Sung's father and told my father that he was a policeman. The 3 boys were driving away when Min Woo said I wanted to go to the bathroom. So the 3 immediately stopped the car at an abandoned convenience store. After that, he put Min Woo in the toilet to deal with his grief. Jun Sung said to Che-Hu, "I'm really scared. I'm afraid that in the end we'll kill Min Woo. When I saw my father get sick, I really wanted to see him become a doctor." You're right, that girl wasn't killed by us and that old man was just a legitimate defense. But if we do something Minwo, we will become murderers, so we have to stop. The guy who covered the Who also shed tears when he heard it. Suddenly, the two heard the sound of glasses pretending to be inside the toilet. When he ran in, he saw that the glass door had broken and Minwoo had escaped in time. Che-Hu immediately ran away to chase Minwoo, and Jun-Sung drove behind him. Jun-Sung drove the car over and hit the barrier to block Minwoo's head, but was knocked unconscious due to the impact. Minwoo's cover of Hu Fei caused both of them to roll into an open field. Minwoo took a stone and slapped it in the face of the Chi-Hu, then cried and said, "What did I do wrong to you? You put me in the suitcase and I can't breathe. Now it's your turn to taste misery." The two began to rush at each other, causing Minwoo to drop a stone to the ground, covering Minwoo with a few haunts. But Minwoo just got a sharp stone, so he stabbed it into Che-Hu's thigh. Then he was about to pin the stone to Che-Hu's body, and the guy immediately called Jun-Sung to ask for help. Jun-Sung woke up and saw two friends fighting outside. The boy ran over and knocked Minwoo down, then chained the hostage Minwoo by the neck, while making Jun-Sung mutter, "Stop for me," and then Minwoo also let go of his body, and when he saw it, he was extremely surprised by Jun-Sung's friend's actions. Che-Hu begins to escort his friend Jun-Sung into the car to flee the scene and let Minwoo stay. Che-Hu drove to a motel, then brought all the money up to the room. Che-Hu tries to reassure his friend Jun-Sung, and then the two make a few bottles of wine to overcome their fears. The wild chairman met his subordinate privately and asked, "Why did you stop my people from dealing with Lady Ami?" Iung-ho said that if he wanted to find those boys, he needed her. The chairman immediately mentioned the merit of raising the son for the past 20 years when he was just a blind child, so the guy immediately promised to personally deal with Lady Ami. Che-Hu and Jun-Sung are now preparing to drive away to continue their escape journey. Then Jun-Sung asked his friend to borrow the phone. "I know you have a brick phone, you used it to call the professor the night before, right? I need to call my dad and the creditor. Let's leave Korea together. After I pay off the debt and give my father some money, let's go abroad. It's the only way we don't have to run away." Che-Hu took out the phone and asked, "I'm the one who will plan and decide where to go." June called the creditor to make an appointment for the delivery location. "After that, I called my father and told him, 'Remember to take care of your health for the time being, you can't go home. I will send my things in the locker at Dajim train, and I will tell my sister to go there and get them. Wait for me to handle everything, I will get back to you, I love you.'" At this time, the secretary was also at his father's bedside. I went out and texted Lady Ami to inform her that Jun-Sung was going to the locker at the Dajim shuttlecock. The lady immediately texted the Yang-ho to know. After that, I was going to go to that cockerel, but I saw someone rummaging through my refrigerator. The lady walked over gently and saw blood stains on the refrigerator door, and it turned out to be Min Woo's son. The police officer and his sister's lover came to the scene to find a motorbike that had been left here 2 days ago. This is also the place where the police officer's phone was last turned on. The two searched the nearby lawn when they saw the policewoman's phone under a puddle. Che-Hu took Jun-Sung to the chicken house and said to Jun-Sung, "They'll find a way to exchange this money before I can take it away." When Jun-Sung stepped out of the car, Che-Hu immediately told him, "Go on a safe road." After that, Jun-Sung carried 2 bags of money and went inside. Ian Ho's subordinate also followed, and the shaggy-haired man drove after Che-Hu's car with his juniors. Jun-Sung went to the storage cabinet and put 2 bags of money inside the cabinet. After leaving, the Ian Ho also followed the button closely. Jun-Sung carries a backpack into a loan shark. At this time, Che-Hu drove to a bridge, and then hesitated to think of something. The guy took out his phone and dialed the phone number that Jun-Sung had called before. Now Jun-Sung is proceeding to repay the debt to the creditor. After the creditor's name confirms that the full amount has been received, Jun-Sung was about to get up and leave, but the creditor stopped him and said, "Someone just entrusted you to me. He promised to pay me another 200 million won. In return, he wanted me to take the gift and throw you into the sea. And do you know who that person is? Is your friend." In the last conversation with you, Jun Sung opened the phone, and Che who said, I can't leave this country. I've thought a lot, but there's no way. We can't go on like this forever. I'm sorry for you. Jun Sung said with tears in his eyes, what you want won't go your way. I really want to save both you and Min-woo, but now that can't be done, he will slowly understand. Suddenly, the cover was blocked by the haired man, and a barehead man smashed the car window. After that, these barehead men began to crush the cover for a fight. Jun Sung was arrested by thugs and dragged into the operating room. Then he was injected with anesthesia. Suddenly, the Yong coughed and walked in. Then he used his bare hands to knock down each of the thugs here one by one. After that, the beauty of the company's owner's name gave him a heavy role. Yong-ho went into the operating room and asked Jun Sung and Min-woo where they were. Jun Sung told him that he was still alive, and the haired man walked in and confirmed that he had caught him. The Yong-ho walked out and saw Lady Ami who was here. It turned out that this hairy guy had been a spy for Lady Ami for a long time. The lady now declares that I will take responsibility for the association and turn it into a commercial center. He went back to the football field and walked away, thanking you for protecting me all this time. Then the lady received a phone call from the secretary informing her, I've dealt with the name of the wild chairman. As for Jun Sung and Jae-hee, the lady asked to consult Min-woo. At this time, Che who was caught dazzling and gagged, just like he had treated Min-woo before. After that, a person walked in and covered his face with a plastic bag, until the guy no longer has a row of intestines. Jun Sung was taken to the VIP room of a hospital. The guy opened the door and saw Min-woo waiting for him. Min-woo said it was hard to save his life because he was injected with too many drugs. When Jun Sung asked why he saved me, Min-woo said that he saved my life. At that time, you were also very good at acting. Didn't you chain my neck the other day and ask me to pretend to be something? At that time, I understood what you meant, so I pretended to be a fool of myself. Jun Sung immediately asked how he was doing, and Min-woo said, actually, I wanted to do it to both of you, but I couldn't do that to you. Because you always say sorry to me. In the past, the person who carried me to the school's infirmary was also you, but I didn't forgive you. Let's not meet again. Let's live well. And no one has touched the closet at the subway station, so you can handle it yourself. Jun Sung went to open the locker at the subway station and found that the money was still intact. But the guy decided not to use this money. Suddenly, the police officer appeared and announced the arrest of Jun Sung. Because of many crimes such as detention, assault, and murder. Many years passed, and Jun Sung was also released from prison. The guy holding the receipt of the storage cabinet at the subway station, and asked the overseer to throw it away and use me. Jun Sung went to a train station and saw young men who were being discharged home. Then, as I walked, I felt like someone was calling my name, making the guy burst into tears and then walking to continue the journey of rebuilding his life. After making too many mistakes,